Holy shit. Welcome to episode 179 of the Manual Fonts Show. We are going to talk about the PG&E and Gavin Newsom. Some guy shoved his girlfriend onto the tracks. Donald Trump is telling fat kids it's time for some testing. Wendy's, the manager kills someone picking up an employee. And, of course, an NFL player once again is fucking around with the dogs. But before we do any of that bullshit, thank you all for jumping on. Appreciate all of my subscribers. The number goes up, the number goes down, but I appreciate those that stick around and listen to the shit that comes out of my mouth. 90% of it, I might be onto something. There's another 90% that maybe I am onto something. Who the fuck knows, right? I'm either on it or I'm not. It's researched or it's not. Who gives a shit? But before we do any of that, I'm going to tell you about something. Because I wrote some shit on a piece of paper, and I like writing, and I'm going to read it. Because I'm going to fucking read it. Here we go. How many times have you lost something? Your keys, your wallet, your remote, your glasses, your phone. God knows what else gets kidnapped and held hostage by that little troll living in that crack in the wall of your house. They say 30% of people polled lose something. 30 fucking percent. Can you imagine living with one of those fucking disorganized creatures? Can anybody imagine this? Every day, you wake up to a fucking maniac turning your house over like a cop looking for some shit, or a fucking criminal that you thinks you owe money. Loan shark Vig, I don't know. But thank your lucky stars, it's not a cell phone or some other device, because of some website called Life 360, 78% of people lose their phone more than anything else. You know how big a fucking phone is to constantly lose it? Does anybody know the size of these fucking things nowadays? They even have tri-folding phones that are up to the size of a fucking tablet, and we're losing those sons of bitches. That's crazy. And 49% hope that there's some kind of fairy dust that helps them remember, and they never lose it. What is this shit all about? What's more shocking is that over half of the people polled are elitists in swimming in pools of cash, and these silly bitches simply buy another one. Who has that kind of money? I'm going to drop another $1,000 because I can't find the other $1,000. And since I can't find the other $1,000, I have to pay that $600 cancellation fee or the thousands of dollars to finish paying off the loan on it. And I want to do it again. Because that's just it. That's the fucking craziness of it. And what's nuts is they're so careless, yet so rich, that they just throw the poor thing into the darkness without any remorse, like they don't even give a shit. In any case, second to that are glasses. If you can't, you need your glasses to see, right? Those of you out there that have the bifocals, on average, people will mill around like decaying fucking zombies looking for a pair of bifocals, which works out, according to the same website, because I didn't travel very far for this research. The same website says it works out to about 3 days a year total time that you're looking for your fucking glasses, and 30% of the time they're already on your head. Those people need to go get their fucking heads examined at the office. Some kind of shrink, something. Of course, $2.5 billion is spent replacing glasses. The most simplest thing is getting a case and keep it in the same fucking spot all the time. But nobody fucking does that. Who does that? Nobody. Bullshit. It's like they spend this money because they just gave up the search. They called off their dogs, if you will. And what happens to those lost items, those lost souls, if you will? No one knows for sure. Sometimes if you stumble across a phone, there's a 4% chance you might solve a crime. And maybe you happen to find the glasses that are next to it. That's an interesting stat, though. 4% of the time you stumble across a phone, it could lead to someone going to jail. Lost items end up catching people like the BTK killer and, of course, the Craigslist killer. They also find the dead, like David Heisler in 2016, who was kidnapped and murdered, or the 2 teens in 2017 in Utah that were killed and shoved into a mine shaft. Sometimes lost items help out. Of course, I feel like though, these items that are never found are forming an army, where the iPhone is the general and commands a fleet of phones, glasses, pins, keys, makeups, stickers, all that shit, markers. These legions will one day descend on our neighborhood and devour us all. The battle will be long and hard fought, but humans eventually will fall due to the relentless pressure of the robots that will not go to sleep and don't need a break. I pray we never actually get to the Terminator. But I got to say, though, AI is coming, and fucking AI is already replacing kiosks and drive-thrus and check stands at Taco Bell and shit. So I feel like it's happening. It is happening at an unbelievable level. One day, kids, we will get there. I got to get it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Is AI going to take it over? Will we get Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator? Will John Connor be a real fucking thing? Somebody let me know. Somebody out there let me know. This is some bullshit right here. PG&E Falls on Newsom's plan for investor payment into fund. That's the headline from Bloomberg. Let's dive in. California Governor Gavin Newsom proposes a plan to replenish the state's wildfire insurance fund with an additional $18 billion. Half of the funding would come from electricity ratepayers via monthly fees. He wants you to pay extra, kids, so we can put more money into the firefighting fund, because he just wasted a lot of money on illegal immigrants, undocumented migrants, whatever the fuck you want to call them, by handing them free health care at $6 billion. And, of course, he had to dip into the wildfire fund so he could pay for other bullshit items that have not come to fruition, like the homeless crisis. But he wants $18 billion back into the fund. How is he going to do it? Taxes, kids, extra rate increases on your PG&E bill. That's what's going to happen. Of course, PG&E shares fell up to 5% following the news, reflecting concerns from investors. CEO Patty Pope expressed reluctance to issue stock at current valuations to fund the contributions. She emphasized flexibility in participation and preferred long-term spread-out payments. Of course, the existing wildfire fund is at risk of depletion due to claims from deadly Los Angeles wildfires linked to Edison International's equipment. That's what they're claiming now. Although PG&E wasn't involved in those fires, the news still triggered a sell-off in shares. When is Gavin Newsom going to grow the fuck up? Like, everything with this dude is tax. You know what? One of the things that I really hate when I listen to the Blue Donkeys is they always continue to tell us that the blue states are the best. They're better than red states. They subsidize, blah, blah, blah. Which is bullshit, because there's no such thing as a donor state. Every state pays their taxes to the federal government through their citizens. So that whole thing is dumb as all hell. What I really am interested in, and I kind of agree with what another conservative said in Ben Shapiro, is he said, what is the poverty rate? What is the welfare dollars flowing through these fucking states, these fucking blue cities? And it is astronomical. They are subsidized so much just in that area alone in welfare dollars, whether it be SNAP, Medicare, or Medi-Cal, or Meta, whatever that would be for your state. SNAP, the medical, for rental assistance, like any kind of welfare program. Heavily invested. Of course, the argument is probably going to be, well, we're heavily populated, but what are the crime rates? Like, most of the crime rates, if you look at it, are blue cities, metro areas, because there's a lot of you fuckers all congregating in the same area. Most of the revenue disappears because you're stupid and you can't handle your dollars. And then you go ahead and you tax the entire state. So you got guys who are not in the metro areas like myself that have to pay the fucking bill for you fucking morons that can't seem to, balance your checkbook. I mean, how do you go a $24 billion surplus to a $12 billion deficit? How do you go from saying that your budget's going to be balanced to revising it to saying you need to pull $6 billion additional dollars, and then you don't even fund certain propositions that you had voted on by the people? How do you do that shit? Only Gavin Newsom knows these answers. So let's keep on. Let's keep it on. Let's go. It's a thing. That's all I'm going to say. It's a thing. Let's keep going. So this is from People magazine. A man is sentenced for shoving his girlfriend onto the subway, causing amputation on both of her fucking legs. Oh my. Christian Valdez, 36, was sentenced to 18 years in the state prison for shoving his girlfriend onto the tracks. The attack occurred on March 9th of 2024 at the Fulton Street station. The 29-year-old woman suffered severe injuries, amputation of both legs, rib fractures, blood clots in her lungs. She was found underneath the train by responding officers after multiple calls. He pleaded guilty to second-degree attempted murder on June 13th of 2025. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg described the act as a life-threatening act of domestic violence in our transit system. What the fuck? Listen, guys, no relationship is that perilous, that bad, that fucking insane to the point where you have to try to kill the other one. It really isn't that serious. You could if you are in control of yourself, there's a breakup, there's walking out, there's a whole lot you can do. Divorce, there's a lot you can do. This will just get you jail time. And of course, Christian figured that out. Here's my favorite, very, very, very awesome article here from USA Today, which I love a lot. Donald Trump is bringing back school fitness test. Oh, yes. I want this to happen. Donald Trump signs an executive order to reintroduce the fitness test in public schools, the presidential fitness fucking test, the one that I had to do when I was a youngster, and the one that many of us adults had to do that the younger kids, for some reason, aren't allowed to do anymore. This is awesome, okay? It's going to include running a mile, doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, some pull-ups, and toe touching and all that good stuff. It is branded as Make America Fit Again. Dwight Eisenhower officially launched this bitch in 1956. Obama discontinued it in favor of programs focused on long-term health rather than performance. How well has that shit worked out, Mr. Obama? Our obesity rates are through the fucking roof. Nobody wants to fucking get active anymore. And everybody loves a fucking chocolate candy bar every now and again with an energy drink and a couple of cereal boxes and about 10 pounds of sugar down their throat. That's what we're into now. Thank you, Barack Obama, who thought long-term health was better to measure than actual health. Fucking idiot. I don't know what else to say about that guy. The decision is driven by concerns over obesity and chronic health diseases. Trump tasked Robert F. Kennedy with overseeing such a program, and it was Presidential Council has been revived. Basically, a bunch of athletes are now part of this thing. This is good for America. It's good for the kids. They are going to run around. They're going to lose some weight. They're going to fucking be able to breathe without a goddamn CPAP. And by all means, they might have to drink a little bit of water for hydration because that goddamn Coca-Cola is not going to save you. Moving on to the best. This is from the State. This is from the State. Wendy's manager kills a driver picking up a worker, says Tennessee's cop. This happened July 28th. The suspect is Daryl Bowers. He is 37. He is the manager of the facility. He shot Stephen Shepard, who was called by an employee to pick her up from work. This fucker got upset about this shit. The employee called Shepard after Bowers allegedly threatened to slap her. When Shepard arrived, a physical altercation broke out between him and Bowers. Bowers then shot Shepard, who later died at the hospital. He initially called police to report a disturbance before shooting occurred. Bowers is charged with first-degree murder. He is scheduled for arraignment on August 6th. The investigation is ongoing. Wendy's have had incidences like this before. Of course, workers exchanged gunfire with a customer over fucking cold French fries out of Kentucky. Taco Bell manager was found guilty of killing a coworker who wrote him up for an infraction. And, of course, a Chipotle customer shot a worker over skimpy guacamole in Michigan. This shit is rampant, guys. Like, what the fuck is happening at the fast food joints? They're cold fries. It doesn't have to be a gun battle. It's guacamole, dude. It's fucking guacamole. Now, I know you probably had some triggers throughout the fucking day, but, bro, it's guacamole. Like, what are we doing? Like, seriously. It's guacamole. Calm the fuck down. Quit being a bitch. Just quit being a bitch. Just calm the fuck down. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Of course, we're not done because it's News Nation time. This one just brings back Michael Vick and then some. Ex-NFL player convicted of dogfighting-related charges. 190 battle-tested dogs were seized. The defendant is LaShawn Eugene Johnson. He's 54. I'm trying to remember him in my youth. I think he was a Green Bay Packer. I'm not entirely up on LaShawn. Shit. I should be, but I'm not. His conviction is 3 counts of possession of dogs for use for fighting, 2 counts for selling dogs to fight, and 1 count for the transport delivery of the dogs for fighting. The trial convicted by a grand jury in 5 days. 190 pit bull type dogs were seized, believed to be the largest seizure from a single person in a federal dogfighting case. Michael Vick didn't even get that high. Holy fuck. Mall Kent Kennels in Broken Arrow and Haskell, Oklahoma is where they found the dogs. They previously ran Crazy Side Kennels and pleaded guilty to state charges in 2004. So this fucking clown show had already gotten in trouble with the law over his dog kennels, and he kept going until it got to 190 dogs and trafficking of dogs. I don't understand. I don't understand criminals. I don't fucking get it. How do you get in trouble for having these kennels in 2004 and getting cited for these charges at the state level? And rather than clean it up and say, hey, you know what, let's not get crazy, you up the ante, you triple down to 190 dogs in trafficking and fighting. What do you... Only to get convicted and go to jail now? Like, what? How retarded are you? I mean, maybe it is too many hits on the fucking head. Maybe he has a CTE issue here. Of course, he selectively bred champion and grand champion fighting dogs. I don't even know what the difference is. I'm not getting into that. If you guys know, let me know. And his sentencing is pending. So, what the fuck? Like, does anybody understand that? I don't get that. I just don't get how you can do that and think it's okay. I mean, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Here's another page. Okay, I found the link to the sentencing. It said pending in that one article. This article here is 5 years and $250,000 for each count. Woo! One. Okay, so how many counts we got? 3, 5, 6 times 5 is 30 years. Wow. 30 fucking years. That's crazy. That's crazy. If it all goes if it all goes crazy, he's going to get 30 years and $250,000 in penalties. He's probably dying in prison. He's 54. I don't think he's getting out anytime soon after that. What a way to go out. What a way to go out. Oh, and I got to get really in the habit of citing where I'm reading this shit. The Associated Press is where I got the sentencing thing there. Newsmax is where I got the main article. And of course, Wendy's is the state. Columbia, USA Today for Trump's fitness. People Magazine, if I said it, I'm just saying it again. That's all. For the guy that amputated the girl's legs at the subway. And Bloomberg on PG&E. That, guys, is all I have for you. That's it, kids. It was a quickie because I spoke quickie. Oh, shit. I should rewind that. Let me back up. I spoke quickly, therefore it ended quickly. Aha. Yes, kids. That's it, guys. Thank you all. See you on the next one. Later.